Parrots, the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Howdy, little lady.
Behind the wheel of a classic car.
Oh, yes.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Looking for some bargains?
The aim? To make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners.
Yes.
It is my lucky day.
And valiant losers.
I actually can't believe that.
Annoying.
Will it be the high road to glory?
Yo. Or the slow road to disaster.
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Welcome back to the antiques argy-bargy between good chums but fierce rivals, Natasha Raskin-Sharp and James Braxton. And for round 3, we're heading to the Midlands.
It's the waste of England, isn't it? Is it the waste of England? The roly-poly middle section.
I'm not sure it's ever been described like that before.
Now, what is the Midlands famous for?
Well, it's all
Antique-y,
about
what?
ingenuity and it's
Yeah,
industrial.
exactly.
So what are we thinking then?
I think lots of manufactured and made goods, weren't they? Workshop of the world.
Should be ripe for the picking then. Last time out was all about using their noses.
Oh, that smells good.
As our antiques bloodhounds sniffed out some bargains.
They look quite good, don't they?
I think they would say it's a bit extra.
And while not everything had such a fine bouquet,
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Oh,
Is that
that is
good?
strong.
at the auction, it was the sweet whiff of success for both of them.
At 130, rather cool.
But at the final hammer,
£100 you done.
it was Tash who came up smelling of roses. So, in our best of 5 battles of the auctions, that puts Natasha 2-0 up, giving James a lot of work to do.
It's changed. How come you're winning?
I thought, oh, it doesn't feel right, does it?
New diets? What is it? Raw carrots? What's the
I think
secret?
I've been manifesting. You see, before I go to bed at night, I manifest that I win the next auction. We should try it, actually. You've obviously not been manifesting.
No, that's gobbledygook.
No, well,
It
excuse
isn't.
me, is it?
What?
If I have been manifesting and it's been working?
You can't argue with results, old bean. But it's a fresh start today. A crisp £200 each to spend, a super deluxe Daimler Sovereign to get about in, and just one burning question.
What's in James's jar?
What's in my jar? Ooh, I got sweeties.
Oh, my goodness. Sweeties in your jug.
Oh,
Things are very,
nougat. It's sort of nougat. I think.
Delicious.
I'd have to pass that to you.
We know one another quite well by now. You can feed me. That's amazing.
Sure.
Get in with your nougat.
Oh, good. That is good. Isn't
Oh,
it?
that's amazing. Oh, that set us up for the day.
Appetites sated? Let's begin. So far, our twosome have already explored South Wales, and now they're heading northwards up the side of England, on the way to their final country of the trip, bonnie Scotland.
What do you have in your mouth?
It's a magical sweetie. It's like a wine gum, but it has a soft centre.
We might need to take that jug off him. This time out, they're touring the Black Country, heading towards Quinton in Birmingham, the city of 1,000 trades. But they start out in the country near Pattingham. First port of call, Jones of Shropshire, and it's a big one.
This is bonkers. Look at all. Oh!
Isn't it?
Mind yourself, mind yourself. Wheelbarrows
Safety.
at
The goods of 30 dealers are on offer here, both outside and in. With everything from reclamation to retro to rootle through, our two have a lot of ground to cover.
What a good gnome.
Oh, hello.
I'll admit it, I would happily be the first to gnome bash. But then there is something quite romantic about this handsome little gnome sitting on a fly-agaric toadstool, making a wish. Why wouldn't I take it to auction? The first reason, it's broken, so the tip of the hat has gone. But the second reason is, for me, certainly the most pertinent. It's a gnome. It's a gnome.
Gnome snob. James would never be that sniffy.
It's good size, that, isn't it?
I knew I would find you in the kitchen.
We've got some amazing things here. I've never seen one of those before.
It's a kitchen-majig. You've never
Yes.
seen a kitchen-majig?
No.
Or you've never lived.
Crushes, strains, whips and lifts. Do you think a poached egg would be safe in that? Would it? Do you think, or would it slip out?
No, I think it would be perfectly safe.
But-
So is that what you're taking to auction?
No, it's a bit small for me.
A bit small for
I might take that home to my kitchen.
I think you should. Every kitchen needs a kitchen
Kitchen-majig.
Yeah, price is dropping, callers. Call that.
Ooh, just let me phone in my order. You lot get back to the antiques.
What's that? Sort of akin to a boot scraper. Oh, it's a grave marker. Wow. My goodness, a bit macabre, isn't it? I wonder who would have needed a grave marker or why it would have been used. Is it temporary, you know, in lieu of a headstone before it's erected? Or is it actually for those who couldn't afford a headstone, perhaps?
Do you know, you're right on both counts. Iron Foundries produced a range of different designs, so you could pick your favourite.
And it isn't in perfect condition, but it has good age. Victorian, it says here. I totally believe that because the Victorians were the great cast iron mongers.
They were rather fond of graveyards too. £8 is the price for that.
I've never seen one before. It caught my eye. £8. Just go with it, girl. Just go with it.
Let's go and have a word at the till.
Mike, hi, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah.
I'm amazed at the quantity. I don't know how
Yeah.
you keep up with it all.
There is quite a lot of stuff to look
Oh
from.
my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
But something that caught my eye in among it all is a little cast iron grave marker.
I know the one.
I like the fact that it is old and
It
a
is,
bit
yeah.
macabre.
Just a little bit, yeah.
But I like all those things. I love that it's £8. I
That's
mean,
even better, even
I've
better.
pre-counted my money, Mike.
That was easy peasy, wasn't it? £192 still to play with.
Dude, definitely one of the stranger things I've ever bought. But I like it. Little way.
Doesn't ward off vampires, Tash. Back in the yard, James's eye is being drawn to some hefty objects, as per usual.
Look at this. Here we are. We don't need any other reminders of the fact that we're in industrial heartland here, the Black Country. We've got a very workmanlike pair of sack wheels here. And then we've got this lovely fellow here. I do like a trolley. There's something about the slow rhythm and noise of a trolley.
Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. But will it pass the Braxton weight test?
Nice and heavy. It probably dates from about the 1930s, 40s or 50s. But it's a part of our industrial heritage. This is made to move parts around a factory. It's very well made. We've got these tubular metal here, got great wheels still working, and we've got a lovely manufacturer's label of F-Par here, of Dean Street in Birmingham.
But what we haven't got is a price.
I'm going to go and see if I can do a deal on this lovely trolley.
Off he trundles, then. I think Michael hear him coming.
It's a lot quieter inside, isn't it? Hello, Mike.
It is. Hello, you're right.
I found this lovely, heavy trolley.
It's only come in yesterday.
Oh, fresh goods.
So, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, excellent. What could this be, Mike?
The dealer's asking 80 for that.
£80?
Yeah.
Not 40?
Fortunately not, no.
50?
He needs a bit more than 50.
How much more than 50?
55.
I'll give you 55.
Got there in the end, then. £145 left to spend, and you can use that for shifting future purchases too.
I'd love to chat away how happy I am to buy this, but I think it seems to be shouting me down.
You said the noise was part of its charm, James. Meanwhile, Tash has motored on out into the countryside, communing with nature.
Ah, there's a wasp in the car. Oh God, it's huge. It's a bee. Oh, there's a bee in the car. Okay.
It's all right. Nobody panic.
So James is all about saving the bees. So come on, bee. James's jug. Get in James's jug. Come on.
It's probably more scared of you than you are of it.
I have a chamois. Okay, come on now. Come. Ah, touch the chamois. It touched the chamois.
I retract my last statement.
Okay, go. It's out. It's out. Go on. It's out. Quite the buzz.
Well, I was about to say she's making a beeline for Halfpenny Green. And as if she hasn't had enough of flying things, her next shop is on an airfield.
Halfpenny antiques. Okay. What have you got?
Well, quite a lot as it happens. 50 dealers worth of stock from across the ages. From very old right up to mid-century modern. Groovy. And if you find something you think will take off at auction, Claire's on hand for a haggle. Our girls barely grazed the surface of her budget Still £192 left. So the sky's the limit.
This is Joan. I know this is Joan, but she's missing somebody, is she not? You can't have Joan if you don't have Darby. Darby and Joan, the old married couple that don't really do much, but they're quite happy in one another's company.
The proverbial epitome of dull contentment, first mentioned in print all the way back in 1735.
She just looks as though she's bored to tears. Maybe if Darby had been there, I would have happily picked them up as a pair. Alas, she's just going to have to stay looking that pensive on this shelf for a little bit longer.
Meanwhile, the Derby to Natasha's Joan has moved on, pitching up at the Midlands market town of Starbridge, supposedly on his way to the next shop. But I think he's been distracted.
What a lovely day for a game of cricket. I wonder if they'll let me bowl a couple of balls.
Starbridge Cricket Club, established in 1842.
Hello.
Ready?
Oh, blimey! That came out of nowhere. James.
John.
Hello,
Nice
good to meet you, John.
Nice to see you.
What a place.
Yes, some big names have played here. Richie Benno, Imran Khan, and now Jay Braxton. Bit of a demon bowler, this fella.
You ready, batsman? Well done. A bit
Well
too
done.
much movement there,
about
wasn't there,
that?
John? Lost and final.
I don't think any wickets were in danger there.
Good luck, Ronnie. Hope you win tonight.
Yeah, back to the day job, James. Over at the airfield, any sign of progress?
Oh, if that's what I think it is, and it probably isn't because it's me, but I hope it is what I think it is.
Well, what is it that you think it is?
A little Georgian brooch. The reason why I've spotted that is because there is a suspicious-looking black line, and it's a crack in the foil that backs this piece of rock crystal. Foil-backed jewellery is so Georgian. It wouldn't have been worn by the most rich and lavish and extravagant woman, but it certainly would have been worn by someone who was maybe trying to get a suitor to catch her eye, and maybe she placed this just sort of south of the décolletage, shall we say, so that eyes were drawn to an area that she could flaunt.
Gosh, it's all got a bit saucy, hasn't it? £28 is the price on that.
Yes, the foil is cracked, and that's kind of breaking the illusion, but actually that's helped me decipher exactly what it is. I think it's too good to walk away from, especially because this is the kind of thing that happens to everyone else but me. Oh, I was just looking in a cabinet full of modern jewellery and I found a Georgian brooch. It just never ever happens to me. Honestly, today could be a lucky day.
Here's hoping. Now, back to Starbridge, where James has finally made it to his shop. The splendidly named Grandad's Attic, a treasure trove of vintage and retro objects and interiors.
Yo, spacey.
That's the vibe. It's all carefully curated by David, looking far too youthful to be the eponymous Grandad. With £145 at his disposal, let's see what our man Braxton can get his mitts on.
Look at this fella. Look at it. This is a dead parrot, isn't it?
He's not dead. He's just resting.
Monty Python springs to mind, doesn't it? The dead parrot sketch.
Yes.
Isn't that funny? That is a big scale, isn't it? Great colour.
Yes, the Norwegian blue. Beautiful plumage.
So this would have come maybe from a theatre or something. Anyway, we'll let it rest in peace, shall we?
And now for something completely different.
Oh,
Still loitering at the cabinets, Natasha?
I'm in full brooch mode. This is so sweet. Silver? Yes, sterling silver marked proudly on the back. But no one's ever going to buy this for its weight in precious metal. What they're going to do is wear it because they love English bulldogs. Honestly, their faces are just so grumpy. They look as though they are having the worst time.
This one's got a right strop on.
I like the fact that it's not shiny, high sheen, polished silver. This patination, for me, I think is purposeful because it allows us to see every bit of detail that has been picked out. I think this is post-World War II when the bulldog really became popular. Really slim, really easy to wear, and hey, really profitable.
Could be. Currently priced at £22.
I'm not a particularly doggy person, but doggy brooches I have bought and sold for a profit. So perhaps I could do it again?
Time for walkies, then. Go and have a chat about your brace of brooches.
Claire, hi, nice to see you. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. I'm in love with the variety of this shop, and yet, of all the things I could have chosen, I've come up with 2 brooches. One is marked up at £28.
Okay.
It's the older of the two. I think it's Georgian. The other is mid-20th century silver bulldog, £22.
Okay, yep.
So in total, 50. Is there any room for manoeuvre at all?
I think they're the same deal, aren't they?
Yes.
So I can do 44 for you. On those.
44. Hey, let's do 44. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
So that makes 20 for the Bulldog and 24 for the Georgian one, and £148 still in the kitty.
Oh, look at that. From the 18th to the 20th century in the space of 4 centimetres.
Meanwhile, over in Starbridge,
Very tiny.
James has had a good look round, but is still coming up empty-handed.
David,
Yes, Jen.
I'm struggling, Chief.
You're struggling.
Have you got anything lurking in your office?
Let me just check
Come on.
my secret stash.
Oh,
I'll
secret.
have a look.
Dig away.
I might have something.
Dig
for you.
away.
Give me a second.
Do you remember all these sweets when you were a child? Oh, Kayla bottles. I always used to love Kayla bottles.
Focus, James, focus.
I've got this lovely little Edwardian paint set. Well used.
Ah,
I think you might like that.
great tin, isn't it? So this is Japanning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Japanning was a sort of like a lacquering, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
On metal, and Birmingham was very famous for it. I love all the gilding. By appointment at H.M. the King.
Yeah.
So we know it's Edward VII.
Yeah.
And then we open it up, and these are glazed.
Yes.
So
So
this-
this ceramic, yeah.
They are
yeah.
ceramic, aren't they?
Yeah.
So this is for watercolour sketching.
Yeah.
That's your little water vessel. Here's your thing for mixing. Great thing.
Lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
What's your price on this, Chief?
That would be £40.
Would 25 buy?
Well, I suppose, being as though the paints have all run out, I could do that.
Oh, thank the Lord the paints have run out.
Quite. That leaves him with £120 in reserve.
You never know, tonight I might do some painting.
Why not? Why not?
Thank you, David.
You're welcome, thank you.
I think that's a good point to halt proceedings for the day. And back together in the car, thoughts turn inevitably to bedtime.
How do you sleep, actually? Are you quite a sound sleeper? Are you a snorer?
Oh, huge snorer.
An expert snorer?
Think wildebeest.
Well, okay.
And on that note, nighty night. Another glorious Midlands morning, and someone in the Daimler is full of beans.
Yo.
Was that you twerking? Was that a top half twerk?
How do you twerk sitting down?
You don't need to ask the question. You've just demonstrated perfectly.
What do you twerk with?
Everything you've got.
Everything
All
you've
your
got.
rights.
Do it all.
Mind the suspension, James. Yesterday, our man didn't quite come in like a wrecking ball, only managing to bag a watercolour painting set and an industrial trolley.
Nice and heavy.
He still has £120 for today's shopping. Natasha fared a bit better, plumping for a couple of very different brooches and this cheery little number.
Oh, it's a grave marker. Wow.
Her kitty is in a slightly healthier state, £148 left for her. Now, time to talk tactics.
What do you do before you go into a shop? Do you move the diaphragm a bit? Do you do
Yes,
a couple
move the
of
diaphragm, twerk.
star jumps?
I do, you
Star
know,
jumps?
I do all that. Star
Why?
jumps, yes. I also have a hula hoop in the bag.
Be prepared, that's her motto. Later, our savvy shoppers will be off to auction on the outskirts of Winchester. But we start today in the town of Smethwick, just to the west of Birmingham, where Natasha is taking a break from antiques to visit this magnificent building. This is the Guru Nanak Gurdwara, the oldest purpose-built Sikh temple in the UK, and offering a warm welcome, Gurdwara President Kuldeep Singh Diol.
Hello, hi. How are you?
Welcome to Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smatik.
Thank you very much for having me. But I believe first things first, there's some housekeeping involved, isn't there?
Yeah, so we have to cover our heads.
Okay. And thank you for choosing such a vibrant scarf. Love that.
We have to take our shoes off. And we wash our hands as well.
Shoes off, and then it was the washing of the hands.
Off to wash our hands.
Right, I'll follow you. Thanks.
So this Gurdwara has been here since 1961. It originally was founded in a church building, and then ever since then it's grown and grown and grown.
It's a huge scale, this building. Is it one of the biggest?
It is one of the largest places of worship in Europe, and possibly the biggest place of worship in the UK.
The temple serves this area's large Sikh population, with a congregation of over 100,000 attending on a weekly basis. But it's not just a place of worship. The Gurdwara is a hub for the local community, offering a free kitchen, teaching spaces and other facilities. And it's off to class for Natasha to learn about the traditional art of Punjabi embroidery from world-renowned textile artist Ranbir Kaur.
Ranbir, hi, how are you?
How are you, Natasha?
Delighted to be here, delighted to find you surrounded by colour. It's fantastic.
They look beautiful, don't they?
They do, but when you say they, what exactly are we talking about?
We are actually talking about fulkari stitch, which is from Punjab. The word full, the first word, means flower.
Okay.
So that is why it is called fulkari. In the olden days, the ladies, when the child was born, especially the girl was born in their house, the grandmothers and mothers, they started to make fulkaris.
Wow.
For their weddings.
It's believed that this Punjabi folk art goes back at least 1,400 years, with skills passed down from mother to daughter. It's not just flowers that feature in fulkari. Designs also include geometric shapes, animals, and even scenes from everyday life. And with a top-class teacher for guidance, Natasha is giving it a go. First, tracing a design onto fabric.
Tell me how you came to be interested in fulkari.
I started this at the age of 8. My grandmother, my mother and my auntie, they were all into textiles. And this is one of my grandmother's.
Oh, really? Oh,
so
how
this
precious.
is all freehand.
Look at the vibrancy of that purple.
Yeah.
That is just
beautiful,
incredible.
Beautiful, yeah.
And that's part of the tradition, bright colours.
Yeah. This is her imagination of a peacock.
Oh, at the peacock. Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
beautiful.
was her imagination, yeah.
I'm done. What do you think?
I think, brilliant, yes. Now it's time for you to start the embroidery.
Oh, I was worried you were going to say that. Right, OK.
To make your fulkari authentic, you'll need to use this traditional silk floss, brought all the way from India. And as you haven't learnt the skills at your mother's knee, this is going to be a bit of a crash course, Tash.
Do simple one from top to end, then again top to end.
So you're approaching this as if you're teaching like under 5s at this point. Yeah, I get that.
We all have to start from somewhere, isn't it?
As well as teaching, Ranbir exhibits her work all round the world, and here at the Gurdwara she's been running a project with local Punjabi women called Rags to Riches. The centrepiece of which is this magnificent artwork. It tells the story of how they came to the UK and using their sewing skills in the local textile industry to make better lives for themselves.
This group started with the 3 first, but I ended with 15.
Oh, really?
And I think when I came to this country, my aim was to keep our Indian culture alive, and we should.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Ranbir, it's taken me long enough. I'm personally quite happy with that.
Oh, you?
If you were gifted that, would you be impressed?
I will be, because I know how to do it. I can finish it.
A very diplomatic answer. Let's head off to meet the ladies whose more skillful sewing created that fabulous banner.
Hi, hello, hi, I'm Tasha. Nice to meet you all. I loved learning about the tradition of passing from grandmother to mother to daughter. Is that how all of you learned the skill?
Yeah. I passed it on to my daughter and my granddaughter, who will be 18 on Sunday.
Oh,
so
that's lovely.
Yeah.
And do you feel that the 18-year-old granddaughter, was she very interested when you started, slightly reluctant?
She's made a few bucket hats.
So she's brought fulkari to bucket hats?
Yes.
Festival style?
That's it.
Sounds like this centuries-old tradition is in good hands for the future. Meanwhile, Mr. Braxton has moved on, arriving at the town of Walsall for one final bit of shopping. where he's off to the Three Elephants Antiques Arcade, hoping to address the elephant in the room.
This is Last Chance Saloon. I've got a lot of money and I need quite a few items.
Well, I think you've come to the right place. They've got antique goodies galore and more cabinets than you can shake a stick at. And with Vicky on hand to offer advice, you'll be burning through your remaining £120 in no time.
That's nice. Looks like Oriental porcelain. So lots of English factories were doing things in the Chinese taste. And these are Chinese immortals, sort of elders, sages, whatever. And this would be mid-18th century. Have we got any marks? Yeah, we've got marks. So this is Spode.
Founded in Stoke-on-Trent in 1770 by Josiah Spode, who developed the formula for bone china. No price on this.
This would have had fruit on it, and these were the dessert plates, so you would have a knife and fork to chop up your fruit. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Look, the last one has been oven baked. So that's been left on a stove, got really hot, and then somebody's put something greasy like butter, and then it seeps through the glaze and gets into the body and then discolours it. Shame that, isn't it?
But apart from that, what do you reckon?
Really nice.
Let's call it a maybe and keep looking. Meanwhile, our other expert is still hanging around the Birmingham area, popping in to Quinton for her last shop of the leg.
Is it just me or does this look tiny?
Size isn't everything, Natasha.
Oh, wow, look at this treasure chest. About the same size as a treasure chest. There must be more, actually. Nope. You hit the wall. It's a dead end. I think this is the smallest shop I've ever been to.
So small, in fact, that owner Chris has had to wander off to give you room to browse. But it's not lacking in the quality department. Some really nice things in here. That £148 of yours is going to come in very handy.
Come on. Incredibly sweet.
I thought you weren't a doggy person, Tash.
It's a little pencil and watercolour of... Oh, I'm going to get shouted at if I get this wrong. Is it a King Charles Cavalier / Springer Spaniel?
I think you covered the bases there.
I think this has come from what you would call an autograph book. And quite often these were passed around First World War hospitals and the like. People were passing the time as they were convalescing, and they weren't necessarily getting autographs of famous people, more notes and signatures from people with whom they were sharing a company or a ward, something like that. And quite often people buy those, go through them, and pick out key doodles, because essentially this is just a sophisticated doodle. And that would probably be why the person who did this didn't sign it or date it.
One other thing it's missing is a price. Interested?
I already have a dog item. Why not make it two and make this the dog-themed auction?
Doggies do well. Over to Walsall, where James has collared Vicky for a bit of assistance.
I'm looking at this rather nice bracelet at the top.
There you go, James.
When something's yellow and glistening like this, we always hope it's gold, don't we?
Well, we do, of course. Unfortunately, it's not gold. I wish it was, but it's what we call pinchbeck.
Yeah, which is a sort of fool's gold,
yes,
isn't
it is,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Devised by Christopher Pinchbeck, a London watchmaker working in the early 1700s, his gold effect alloy allowed ordinary people to get that luxury look on a budget.
It never tarnishes. It will stay like this forever.
Isn't that clever? It's not going to fit me, is it?
Oh, you're close.
But you can see the general effect. It's rather stunning, isn't it?
It is.
I'm interested in that.
Right. Well, we have 55 on it.
OK, hold that thought, Vicky.
Okay.
Let me go on, and
Yes,
I'll keep
you
marching
carry on.
Huh, one for behind the counter, I think. Back in Quinton, and having barely moved an inch, Tash is making more discoveries.
They're the same. So some tiles there, some tiles there. These ones have a label. Lewis FD, Arts and Crafts tiles, £50 each, yes. And lustre tiles, yeah. They're so arts and crafts. And actually, Lewis FD, his name is one that would crop up alongside William Morris, William de Morgan.
Yes, this designer was an influential figure in the late 19th century decorative arts.
I mean, these couldn't be more arts and crafts if they tried. Don't think they're all identical. This one slightly different pattern. There's some like ribbing on the leaves on that one. Oh, there's a nice strong one. Right, hold on. This one is a corker. Look at that. The colour, purposeful, I'm not sure, but it's slightly more pale in the flower head, and the outline is just throwing it into sharp contrast. That's fantastic. Oh, that's my favourite one thus far.
Well, before you get too carried away, there's a small matter of cost.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that is £400. I don't have £400. So I think what I'm going to have to do is say to Chris, how many of these fabulous tiles can I get for my budget?
Let's get him in then. It is his place after all.
Oh, Chris, hi. Thank you for giving me the run of the shop.
Pleasure.
I appreciate it greatly, and I love everything. I wonder what you're going to make of my taste. There are a couple of lots I want to present to you. So the first is on its own, the little dog. I wonder what's your best price on that?
I can do that for £20.
20? I like it.
That was the easy one. Time for the tiles.
Now, you want £400 for 8. I can't afford that. But I'm wondering, for my £128, how many you'd be willing to let go.
I can do 4. I can do 4, no problem.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, yes.
4 tiles and a dog. Fantastic. And I'm all in.
Yep, a very generous discount, but that's wiped out her budget. She seems happy enough, though.
Oh, I love them all. I love them all.
Back to James, who's building up quite the collection of potential purchases. Any more for any more?
Look at this. This is rather fun. Any utilitarian object could be sleeved or covered to make it a luxury good. And this is a matchbox cover. The matchbox would have gone in there, so you would have been able to strike. It should have some hallmarks. Here are Leopard's Head, London. We know it's silver. And that's a date letter for 1909, so Edwardian. It's made by Charles Dumnell, who did lots of what they called toys, little bits and bobs that were sold at jewellers.
£75 is the price on that.
If that's cheap, sort of £30, £40, I'll buy that because it's got a good weight, it's got nice decoration, and generally, for a matchbox cover of over 100 years, it's lightly bashed.
Let's take it to the till and have a chat with Vicky.
I found another item.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, it's a nice piece.
Little matchbox cover.
Silver.
You've got the bracelet, haven't you?
I have. It's just here, waiting for you.
Excellent. I like that. And I've seen a nice dessert service, the sort of faux Chinese one with the immortals on it.
OK, the Copeland Spode.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Vicky, I've got 40, I've got 80, I've got 100, 120. I'm slightly at your mercy. Will 120 buy all 3?
Well, as it's you, James, and you've been so pleasant and so lovely to us.
Very kind. You're making me blush, Vicky.
I think so, yes.
That's very kind. Let's put it there. Well, thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Quite the deal. Making the dessert service £60 and 30 each for the matchbox cover and the bracelet, meaning James is cleaned out as well. And as everyone is now skint, I'd say the shopping is done. What are we having for supper, chaps?
In Birmingham, you have curry. Shall we go and have a curry?
I've been so unlucky because I've tried to be adventurous in curry house recently, and I keep choosing the wrong one. I say, this isn't too hot, is it? And when you get it, I'm just sort of all over the place. I'm sweating, I'm gasping.
No, come on, I'll find a nice spot and I'll phone them in advance. I'll say,
And they'll
I'll
say,
bring
"Is
you
that-
along a
is that
very
that
mild-mannered
James Braxton?"
into your establishment.
We hear he likes it hot.
And if you survive that, shut-eye. It's auction day, and for our experts, the pressure is rising.
Words of wisdom for auction 3, Mr. Braxton.
Who wins this sets themselves up well for the rest, don't they?
Yeah, OK. Crucial tipping point.
Oh, yes. Having mooched around the Midlands, our antiquing adventurers have headed south into the countryside near Winchester. Once again, we're at Andrew Smith & Son, auctioneers, with eager bidders in the room, bids on the book, and lurkers online too. Our master of ceremonies today is the inestimable Nick Jarrett.
Selling it, 90 have you done?
Tash breezed through her entire £200 stash on 5 auction lots. But what tickles Nick's fancy?
The Lewis Day tiles are good arts and crafts objects. They're bold, floral painting. We've said 100 to 150. Maybe a little punchy, but I think with a good following wind, they should do quite well.
James also maxed out his £200 budget on his 5 items. What's hot, Nick?
The Regency pinchbeck braces is a nice thing. It's elegant. It's obviously got age, but I think it has a contemporary feel, and I think it will appeal to people. We're saying 40 to 60 pounds for it. It may do better.
All sounds very promising. And a busy sale room to boot.
This is your one, James. This is your one.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Only one way to know for sure. Fingers crossed. First under the hammer today is Tasha's morbid little curio.
Have you ever seen a Victorian grave mark?
I've never seen one.
Where to start you? £5.
Yeah, he's not digging it.
£5 for this.
The world is not digging it either.
We got 5.
Oh, go on, one more.
10.
Oh, 10.
£10.
15, and it's an auction.
Too much of a curio. Making an auction.
£10 note. You all finished.
£10 is not anything to write home about,
It's
is
doubling
it?
your money.
No, it's not. I paid 8.
Pay attention, James. It's still a ghost of a profit.
So I haven't seen one before, but if I
Okay.
see one again, I'll just keep walking.
Trolley time. James's big old industrial lump is next.
Well, we got a bid of 10 at £10, 15 anywhere else.
Didn't you pay 55?
At £15, 20, can I say? 20 at the back.
Someone's come in from the local
20,
shop.
New bidder 25, 30, and 5
Yes.
at 35, 40, 45,
Oh, we're so close.
50. At £50. In the room at 50.
No, keep going.
And we'll
keep going.
sell now at 50.
Oh, so close.
Yes, a little loss, but the wheels haven't come off just yet.
Gave me a bit of a heart palpitation, that.
Tasha's Georgian brooch now. She was so pleased when she found it.
Where do you start me for it? £40.
Oh, he doesn't have any bids.
I've got 45.
Oh,
at
good.
45. 50, in fact. At 50 and 5 now.
Oh, good. Come on, internet.
55 online. All done. It'll sell at 55.
Oh, I'm pleased.
I don't blame you. Short, but very sweet, that was.
I didn't think it would make a fortune, but it did have the age. I spotted it. I spotted it. Yes, chuffed.
Next up, James's watercolour set. Anyone fancy a dabble?
Well, I've got 5 online, which I think is light. We've got 10 now. 20. At 25. 30.
Oh, lovely.
30 it is then.
Oh, keep going.
At 30. And 5. 40.
Oh, James.
And 45 now. 50.
Yeah.
5. At £50.
Quality.
It's the last chance. At 50, I'm selling it.
Nice.
That's put a bit of colour back in his cheeks.
Celebratory stroke of the thigh.
God, that's terrible. I mustn't do that.
What's next?
That'll be your bulldog brooch. Here's hoping owners are watching.
People will pay £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 for those dogs.
Wow.
So why not pay £30 to help me make a profit?
I've got 20 for it. I'll take 5. At £20, 5 can I say? At £20.
Come on, I think it's an internet lot. I feel like it's an internet lot.
£20.
Struggling.
No more.
Oh,
He's
I
struggling.
know.
At 20, all done.
Put it down, put it down.
£20, you're done.
It's so Charlie.
Sorry. I had to remain me. I'm just, I need this leg.
That's not the British bulldog spirit, though, is it, James?
The gloves are off.
Yeah. I hope you do brilliantly in this next lot, James. I hope you do absolutely brilliantly.
Well, that'll be his pinchbeck bracelet. The auctioneer was a fan.
Ooh, that's
Look.
nice.
Well, where do you start me? 40 for it.
Oh, James, I'm
£40.
jealous. I'm jealous.
85 we have online. 85.
That came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Cracked it. Cracked it.
I thought it was a nice item.
£85.
Yes. Hello.
No tarnish to his reputation with that.
Well done. You see, this is what people do. They congratulate their friends when they
I
do
know,
well.
I do.
That's right.
I
yeah.
do.
Another canine offering from Tash, a wee doggy doodle.
I've done something that all auctioneers do.
What?
I added a title to a painting that didn't have a title. And I looked up, is there a nickname for that breed? And apparently it's known as the comfort breed. So I called it Comfort.
I got £15.
Oh, that's not great. I paid 20.
At £15. All done.
No, more.
It's at £15.
Oh, no.
20. At 20. Ladies bid in the room, new bidder at £25. Online at 25.
We comfort.
Last chance at £25.
I was convinced that would make more.
Cold comfort, you might call it.
I tried my favourite trick, adding a title.
They didn't go for it, though.
Oh, to be fair, terrible title.
Well, let's see if we can get a fire going with James's next lot, his matchbox cover.
At £35, 40 now.
It's moving along.
At 45, 50, at £50, and 5, 60, 65, 70 now.
This might
at
swing it.
75, 80, and 5, 90, and 5, 100.
I think you've had your winning
120,
leg.
130, 140, 150, 160.
He's just saying numbers.
170, 180.
It's practicing counting.
190. 200, can I say?
Please, go on.
220.
It's not slowing down.
220, 240 at £240. Selling at £240, 260.
Go on, come on.
At £260, if you're all done. I have to say, all that bidding came from Cheshire.
Oh, interesting.
The beating heart of the luxury matchbox market, obviously.
That's amazing. Hey,
Wasn't
James.
expecting that.
Last up for Tash are those arts and crafts tiles. Her absolute faves.
Here they come, here they come, here they come.
Oh, they're lovely.
I've got a bid of 60. I'll take £100.
Say straight in.
£100. 10 is it? 110, 120. At £120 then. At £120.
Oh, I need a couple more.
130.
Go on.
So you've all finished at 130.
I went all in for those.
Well, they still made a profit by a hair's breadth.
Oh, I wish I'd taken them home. I was in love with them.
And finally, that touch of class that your nectarines deserve. It's James's dessert set.
The bidding online has got up to 90.
Oh, you've cracked it, James.
I'm unlucky.
I can't see you for dust.
At 95, 100 now, and 10, 120, 130, 140, 150, at £160. 170, 180, 190 pounds now, 190.
How does it feel?
It feels good.
At £200, then done. £200 is going.
I feel immortal.
You are a god.
Absolutely peachy. Well done.
You have smashed this leg.
How are you feeling?
Absolutely terrifying.
There'll be no holding him back now. Natasha gave it her best shot. But after auction costs, she came up a bit short with a final tally of £196.80p. But today was all about James. After sale room fees, he finished with a whopping £528.90. Wow. So that huge profit goes to children in need and means James is back in the game, trailing Tash with 2 auction victories to 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Braxt.
Do you know, I always think there's a certain modesty in wearing victory lightly. So
You cracked it.
you may follow in my wake.
Next time on Antiques Road Trip,
That's my drip.
Your cravat is your drip.
famous faces,
He was an historical hottie, and this is not hot.
daredevil stunts,
A nice slow trot.
I nearly went off then.
and bowling.
Here we go.
Oh, that's very good. Yes.
Oh, wicked curve.